Hello, I'm Kathy and I'm from the Early Years Alliance, and today's session is edible paint and mark making. And the great thing about edible paint is that it can be given to babies. So it's a really good introduction to messy play and mark making for them. There's only 3 ingredients, which is flour, water and food colouring. So just be aware that I am using flour, so if there's any allergies, then obviously use an alternative. So I'm doing it indoors today. It's a rainy day. You can do it. It's perfect for an outdoor activity. Just put a mat outside. And if you're doing it on the floor as well, use a mat because it can be a little bit messy. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through the process of making edible paint for your babies. Ideally, babies need to be sitting up, so from about 6 months to 9 months is really, really good. So we're going to, first of all, put a cup, 1 cup, there is a recipe here. It is 1 cup of flour into a bowl, and please do this with your baby. Involve your baby in the whole of the process and they will love it. And explain what you're doing with your baby, so they're getting lots of language here when you're doing it. So we're going, oh, there's 1 cup of flour, and this will make enough for them. And we use warm water, so I'm going to add the warm water, and you can let your babies have a little bit of a feel of that warm water. And it's much more inviting for babies because it is warm, that. So I'm going to put that warm water in there. Whee! And we can whisk it up. So we're really going to be giving our babies lots and lots of language during this. And all this is also very early maths and science with them, all mixing and measuring there. So we want it to be quite a nice smooth consistency as we're doing it there. Okay, give it a little whisk. You can have a little spoon so that your babies can join in with that mixing process too. So they can have a little mix. There we go. And we can be really enthusiastic and say, whoa, what are we going to make today? We are going to make some paint. We are going to be doing some painting today. So it's quite a nice sociable activity as well that we're doing and encouraging with our babies. Yeah, so there are other recipes that you can use. There's a cooking recipe for this where you can actually use milk and flour and you can cook it on the hob, but this is just nice and simple. Okay, so hopefully that is going to be fine. You can always add a little bit more flour if necessary, if you think you need to. I'll just add a little bit more, just make it a little bit thicker there. And they will like all the whisking and mixing. It's like cooking with them. Okay, so there we go. A little bit of a mix there. Nice and smooth. There we go. So as I said, it's wonderful the fact that it is edible for them, and we know that babies put everything in their mouths. Yeah. So I have also written out a recipe here. I don't know whether you can see it clearly. And this is if you use it with older children, they can follow that recipe. So I've put a cup of flour, a cup of water, some drops of food colouring, and I've done a picture there, and it's really good for them to follow instructions like that. So we're going to say that this is ready. Mixing it in. Yay. And it's nice when it's quiet and it's just you and your baby doing a little activity there with them. And I'm going to do 2 colours. So I'm going to do red and green today. So we're going to say, oh yeah, we've got red, got a red colour. And so I'm going to put a little bit in a bowl like that, not too much. And I'm going to use another little pot there. So it's great for those little fingers to go in. So remember, we're thinking about lovely hand and eye coordination going on and all those fine motor skills that they're going to be using. And mark making is all about early writing, really. So it's that beginning stage of making signs and symbols and getting ready for writing. So I've got here a little bit of material. You can use that. I've got some different colours paper, so anything like that you can use. I've got some sort of sugar paper here that might be more absorbent to when you're using it. I'm going to put my red colour. Oh, let's have a look. And it's going to change there. They're going to see that lovely change going on. That is a beautiful red colour that we're using. Mix it all up together. And a little bit of green there. There we go. A little bit green in that one. Stir it up. A different spoon for that. Lots of stirring going on, lots of round and round and round and mixing. Oh, that's a nice colour. What does that look like? Oh, that's like the leaves on the trees, isn't it? Yeah. And I am going to do it on my piece of material first of all. Here's my little piece of material that I thought I would use. Can you move it as a little mat? So we're going to get our fingers. And we're going to dip our fingers in. We're not going to use any brushes or anything like that. We're just going to get our babies to use their fingers. And if you've got a bigger container, they can go round and round. So that's really good, showing that mark making of lines and scribbles and round and circles that they're going to use and develop as they go on. So the more it's practiced, the better they'll be at it. And here we go. So here, let's make some little marks. Woo! And that is so fun. And we can go one little finger, two little fingers, three little fingers, 4 and 5 little fingers. And that already looks really, really good and fun to do. And then I'm going to add some green here. So with the green, whoa, we're going to go like that and add it. Ooh. And that is so good. And that is my little picture there that we're going to do. You can make it into a card. So I'm going to make a little card here with some paper. Fold the paper in half. Make a little card for Father's Day or for your granny or nana. And again, encourage your babies to dip into that paint. Here we go again. Whoa! Woo. There we are. And there's another little card. So they're really getting those little fingers working away there. Okay, so there's another little card. And if we want, we can add around here, and I'm just doing this because I'm just showing you all the different patterns actually that it makes. So lots and lots of lovely, lovely pattern making there that's going on. Yeah, that's wonderful. So I hope you've enjoyed the session today, and I hope it's been useful, and I really hope that you'll have a go at making this with your babies, because I'm sure they're going to have lots of fun with it. Any further information, please go to www.familycorner.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining my session today.